You are listening to the Milan Weekly Podcast, the English voice of Radio Rossonera and Milan fans all over the world.
La formazione del ecco la fascia di capitano con il numero 13.
Donnarumma at the double, sensational from him.
Rafael Leao produces a moment of utter magic.
Teo Hernandez al volo! Teo Hernandez! Ancora lui! Una meraviglia! Ibrahimovic! Zlatan Ibrahimovic! Fuori classe assoluto!
Good evening to all, even with a minute to spare, Stevie P. Look at us. We're back on track. Good evening to everybody. Ahmed, already, Vinny and Steve, please discuss the Mercato. Yes, welcome to everybody. I know there's some people, Steve, already writing comments 2-3 hours before we go on, so glad to see the fans, our fans are eagerly awaiting.
We're top of the table. Still top of the table.
And we're going to talk about all this hate that comes with being on top of the table, Stevie P, but whenever you're ready, you give me the cue and away we go.
Let's go.
Cari amici sportivi, welcome yet to another edition of the Milan Weekly Podcast. Here we talk everything Milan, where, haven't you heard, we buy referees, Milan. But even with all this hate, we are still top of the table, Milan. And we're not professional.
Nor do we pretend to be. Larry, I promise that I will not break the table. I can't break the table because this is my desk.
Yeah, he's got to work, guys. He's got to work. So, yes, Stevie P. It's been quite the week that we've had, going from Wednesday's game against Juventus to Saturday. Before we get into that, a bit of housekeeping, guys. Again, thank you to all the Patreon members. 37, Steve, so far. Thank you to everybody that supports us. A nice little, we've been doing these hour before game chats. Nice little chat with them on Saturday. We had the chance as well. Milan Club Toronto with Maurizio. We were able to record another content for you guys on the channel. And controversial little topic at Facebook, Frank and Tommy Time talking about why they hate the Juventus so much. Let's just say it did draw a bit of comments from the peanut gallery. But hey, we're here to give you content. If you don't want to watch, don't click on play, right, Steve? So
exactly.
So let's start off because we're going to have a lot of things to say. Steve, I want to share something that pissed me off a little bit, but then it was like, seriously? Guys, this is the official Facebook post from Lega Serie A. I don't know if you guys could read. Amazing Juventus victory at Meazza Stadium. Did you know, Steve, that we play at the Meazza?
Very nice.
It's very nice, huh? So how embarrassing is this? So amazing, first of all. Okay, yeah. Amazing. And at the Meazza Stadium. So I guess San Siro was maybe too many words, too many letters. I don't know.
It was taken already.
It was taken already.
The hashtag was taken.
But nothing to be surprising over here, right, Steve? Anyways, let's talk about the game on Wednesday. Look, I'm going to give you my thoughts. If I had to tell you back in March, right, when we lost to Genoa, I would tell you, Steve, we're going to go through almost a year without losing a game in Serie A. And the one game we're going to lose with half a team and to the best team in Serie A.
Whoa. They're not the best team in Serie A.
Not on paper right now as we speak. Maybe
no, they're not. They're not the best team.
Okay, sorry. So we will be losing to Juventus. You wouldn't take that?
I would take
losing to Benevento?
I'm fed up of looking in the past. I want to look at now.
Okay.
I want to look at now and ahead. Because, yes, it was a fantastic run, but it has to continue now. So by us always going back, what if, would you take it? Obviously, everybody would take it. Oh, the run that they went on was out of this world and shocked everybody. Just with all the stuff that was happening in the world, it was something special. Let's face it. And there's luck involved, and there's good football, there's bad football, but a lot and luck involved. I just have to say that for everybody who watches football, soccer, whatever you want to call it, the only thing that I wanted Milan to do against Juve is take the game to them for the full 90 minutes, go in there, do what you have to do as a player. Hey, we had half a team. We had a right back playing in the midfield. And for the first half, we were toe-to-toe with them. They had no answer.
We did. And, I think I was happy to see, like, even though we were, like, half a team, we still did not give up. We left, we kept our foot on the pedal, which this Milan we wouldn't have seen. I know we sound redundant, but, this Milan of 2 years ago wouldn't have done, maybe given up at that time. And, the talks of the refereeing at this game. In the end, were you happy with Milan's performance against Juventus? Well, happy. Happy is a big word there, but
I was angry for the loss, but I was happy at how the team performed. And unfortunately, you saw the economics of the game in that Juve game. We're bringing in talented players. I'm not saying we're not bringing in talented players. It's just that Juve have guys like Bernardeschi sitting on the bench. They have such a deep roster, and I can't deny that they have a deep roster. Are they organized properly? Absolutely not. No. And it was a dominant performance by Chiesa, who kind of, not announced himself because we all know what Chiesa can do and cannot do. But I think against Milan, and I have to admit it, and I was going back with a couple of people and then just rewatching the game there, it was a tough matchup for Hernandez. He exposed a lot of Hernandez's weaknesses defensively, and I'm not going to give Hernandez an excuse, but it's very hard when you're not playing with someone like Rebic, who does so much on the defensive side, for you to attack.
Yeah. And
he got exposed, Chiesa hit the post after, I think, 11 minutes, and then was dangerous, actually scored a goal from a world-class pass from Dybala.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot of people that can stop that. You want to get a little bit picky. Romagnoli should have been a little bit tighter on Dybala. I think he gave him a lot of space, but there's not a lot of players that could pull off that pass. And you know what? Juve goes up 1-0. So, but we could have easily said, you know what? We don't have 3/4 of our team. It's okay that we lose this game. Blah, blah, blah. Cry me a river. No. They didn't do that. They came back, man. They came back and they were still pushing. And at a certain point after that goal, the momentum switched a bit for reasons out of my understanding. Usually it would have been the opposite. And we saw Milan pushing forward. Leao doing a lot of work. Not the lazy Leao that I talk to everybody about. The actual work, the work that gets put in as a number 9. And against Juventus, he showed it.
We had chances, Steve, at the beginning. Remember when Castillejo, I don't know what the hell the defense was doing, Juve's defense, but Castillejo was like wide open and he just shot on the goalie, and it was like we had those chances there. But let's talk about the Milan's goal, right? A controversial goal. Look, I've looked back at all the replays, Steve. For me, it was a foul, right? I'm not going to come out and say here, well, it seems that to me, it was a foul. The reason why they didn't go up to VAR, I have no idea. But I don't know. How did you feel about that incident with Cialanoglu?
Guys, it's over the whole weekend that I've been talking about this, and tweeting it out. And the video that I think it was Mario, one of our mids, who sent us that video, or you, Vinny, I think you sent us the video of a media set.
Yeah.
So the guy clearly explains it. Why they don't go to VAR is because the referee makes that gesture with his hand. He makes this gesture with his hand to obviously play on. So at that point there, VAR is not going to go against the referee. Now, is this a problem between VAR and the referee? Yeah, well, I think they're gonna go about it, and they're gonna iron these kinks out. But I find that now VAR is being used for too many things.
I think VAR could. I think they can call back, if I'm not mistaken, Steve, for an offside. I don't think you could call back a goal or revise.
I think they can go back. I think they go back
For a
because
foul?
no one knows the rules. No one knows the rules.
Yes, so,
I think that they can go back. I've seen it happen last year, where there was a foul in the midfield and someone scored and they actually called the goal back. There's no rules and there's no consistency. But I'm not gonna cry about it. Like I said, like we said last week, I'm gonna take those. I'm gonna take those because it happens. That's the beauty of the game. Stay on your feet. Rabiot, stay on your feet. Everybody says it. Stay on your feet. And again, people are gonna say, "Oh yeah, but you're gonna be you're being a homer for Milan." I'm not being a homer. The ref said to play on, guys. I can't go there and change that call.
And it was actually an interesting little video from sports media. So it was actually 10 minutes long, and they're really discussing all the incidents. A real touch of class, even from Pioli. Was watching it from the media set, the DAZN feed from Italy, and it was he was saying, like, those kind of penalties. I mean, those, like, these kind of incidents. Sorry, I'm referring to the Torino game, but in the end, the refereeing. Look, we lost, right? That's what it was, and they won. They won the Champions League final. It seemed, to beating Milan, and that made me feel good that you came to San Siro, not the Meazza, and you were like so proud of yourself as 9-time Scudetto winner, beating measly little Milan with half a team. And you know what? We're still atop of the fucking tables.
Yeah.
So it was bittersweet, but in the end, Steve, for me, I'm not that disappointed.
But there's more to that game. That video that you sent us was exactly 13 minutes and 56 seconds long, where they only talked about that foul on Rabiot. They spent maybe 4 seconds on the Diaz foul in the box at the end. Would it have changed the game? No. But if your media and your reporter or your pundit or your journalist or your producer of a show, you need to talk about the entire game. You cannot just pick and choose the episodes and the moments of the game that you want to commentate on. Because, okay, we have that foul, and then we have another foul in the box on Diaz, where he obviously gets clipped by Rabiot, and there's no penalty, then gets stomped on by Bonucci, who magically is not fleet of foot anymore and stomps on people.
Teflon Bonucci, you man.
Yeah.
Teflon Bonucci, nothing sticks to him.
There's also a Bentancur slide tackle on already a yellow that does not get penalized.
That I was trying to understand, Steve. How did that not get a second yellow? He did not even close of getting the ball.
But the thing is even more than that. What's crazy is karma, and it's not karma. It's proof that there's something wrong with the system. This week, watching Juve play this week against Sassuolo. And Sassuolo getting deservedly, and I'm saying it was a deserved red card on the tackle on Chiesa.
Yeah.
But you see, that tackle gets reviewed, and the Bentancur tackle does not get reviewed. So those are the inconsistencies why people have a very hard time digesting Juventus. And now, am I saying it's Juventus's fault? Absolutely not. But there has to be. It cannot be. It's always for them. It's always in their favor.
The problem has been, I know Facebook Frank brought something good, is like, because of everything that's happened in the past, they've set a precedent. So even though when a legitimate call, whether they go their way or their way, people jump directly to that. They're buying the referees and Campionat. But against the Sassuolo game, we're going to get into it when we get. I watched it and it was fucking. Anyways, we'll get into it from over there. But coming into Saturday, Steve, looking at even, I was very happy 6:30 in the morning watching Inter and Roma. We're going to get into that one there. But let's talk about Milan Torino. Excuse me, Steve, let me pull up something, because just to give you the front page of the newspaper, right, to show everybody this is what we have to deal with. So just give me a second over here, gentlemen. So, Steve, we won with the VAR. Did you know?
This is probably, all jokes aside, the most disrespectful frontline title of the Gazzetta dello Sport that I've seen towards the top of the table team at any given time.
And you see what their play on words are. Not il Milan va, il Milan var, right? And I was trying to take a look at what was so controversial about this game. And, by the way, I know this is going to be our general indigestion of the week, but I have another indigestion where at the end of the match, you heard Pioli talk about the yellow to Leao, and he just said, una munizione di quel genere non l'ho visto mai. He did not say they were wrong. He just said, I didn't see it because, hey, but what can I do? It is what it is. Gianpaolo. They make him rewatch. Who was the player from Torino? They make him rewatch that as he swings for that shot, he kicks Tonali in the back of the leg. See, adesso che lo rivedo, it's definitely a penalty. But he's like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything. And he looks depressed. He's got those bags under his eyes. He looks bad. What merited, Steve, this Milan VAR, according to you? We're trying to play devil's advocate. What merited this headline? What did we do? So VAR made us win.
No, but that's why Serie A, and I'm going to stand on my soapbox right now and say what I've always said and I've preached whenever I went on anybody else's show. This is why. Okay, FIGC and Serie A have their own dinosaur problems. They're afraid of technology. They're afraid of expanding the brand outside of Italy. They're afraid of infrastructure revamping. They're afraid of spending money. The political portion of Serie A is archaic, to say the least. But the newspapers don't help, And why I'm going to say that is you're basically telling the world, whoever can read Italian, that Milan won a game because of the video assistant referee. If I translate it in English,
that's exactly it.
That's exactly what it is. So someone who doesn't understand English, who doesn't understand Italian, translates the front page of Gazzetta dello Sport. Google does it. We've tried it before here on the show. It's not perfect, but it will tell you, Vinny, Milan wins because of the video assistant referee.
I don't know, Steve, if people got confused, because if you look at the penalty given to Diaz, right? Everybody seems to think it was when he actually fell and he wasn't going to get the ball. But it's from the first clip. You can see the previous player.
Let's be honest here. Well, I'm going to give you my opinion.
Yeah.
Both those things are not penalties.
The little clip on his foot, he lost his footing, and that's why
we're
fell.
Going to lose the game, guys. This will not be a game anymore. This is going to be an arcade if we continue this way. Take the date down, January 11, 2021. If VAR continues in this direction, where we're going to put everything under a microscope, we are going to lose the game of soccer that we love. You cannot. The defender needs to defend. The attacker needs to attack.
But
if you're going to call for all these little things, I'm telling you guys, we're going to end up at 11-5 games. I'm not interested in watching soccer for 11-5. Those are football scores. American football, not European soccer. There is a notion of aggression in soccer. It changes games. It's like a hit in football, which they're taking away because of head injuries. I get it. But here, if you take out the notion of aggression from the sport of soccer, we are going to lose it. We are going to lose the momentum changes, the crushing tackle, the interception. We're going to lose so many aspects of the game that we love and people have watched for hundreds of years because we're going to try to put everything under a microscope.
I could understand that, Steve, but let's reverse it the other way around. If it wasn't for VAR, Torino would have got a penalty when there was no penalty to be given. I don't see why. You can see from the replay, the referee has absolutely no chance of seeing exactly what's going on. He just sees both players go down, and you see from every single replay, and he didn't spend much time at the VAR. He was there, 5 seconds? He's like, okay, I fucked up, and he reversed the penalty. Right?
Now they're going to call everything now. Now you'll see. The game will slow down to a pace where it's going to be boring, guys. The refs now are going to be scared because there's no exact guidelines of what they can and cannot do.
And we're in third year now, Steve? With
Third
VAR?
year.
Third year. I just felt on the Belotti thing, Belotti didn't touch the ball, but I felt it was from the little clip that he got before that was still inside the box, and that's why he lost his footing. Because
But the only way you see that is super slow motion.
Okay.
The game is not played in super slow motion, and this is a big thing, in the NFL and the way they use VAR, their VAR. Their VAR takes control. Their VAR is an independent committee that looks at all these plays. Under 2 minutes in a football game, everything is reviewed. Every fumble, every change of possession, everything gets reviewed under 2 minutes. The coaches have a challenge. Let's arm the coaches with challenges then.
Well, now we're going to have a game that's going to be even longer. VAR's been taking, takes away from the game itself. Look at Juve Sassuolo, right? First half finished 6 minutes of extra time, and then they had to go review. And I know what you're getting at. I think our frustration is these referees, unfortunately, not really a guideline. They're afraid of maybe making a call. We've lived for decades and decades with mistakes, right? And I know sometimes VAR does some good stuff, but in the end, it's like you're saying, this little nitpicking. You might not have seen it as a penalty. I saw it, but I could understand what you're saying is that if I didn't have slow-mo, I would have never seen that clip from the foot, from before on the
You're not going to see the clip. And I say that if the referee makes a call where he sees a tackle and it's a yellow card, it's a yellow card. Let's move on. If he sees a tackle and he sees it as a red card, well, then it's maybe something to either review or for. Because, we'll go back to the Tonali challenge, where he got his red card. He's getting a red card because the ref is able to see it in super slow motion. And in super slow motion, everything looks worse. Do I disagree that it was a red card? Absolutely not. I think it was a red card. But I think they're so afraid to make that call and change the game that they won't, and they're going to rely on VAR. So we'll relook over these things and see them in super slow motion, And I was under the impression, and we don't see the VAR screen. The VAR screen's not made very. I don't know if we're seeing exactly what the ref is seeing on VAR. That's the frustrating part, right?
It looks so, because whenever you catch a glimpse of them in front of the screen, it just looks like the replay you're seeing yourself
but
on.
But then some things, Vinny, you know what? Some things cannot be done and cannot be looked at in super slow motion.
Or maybe, redo these reviews, but no slow motion. Just, unless it's a handball that you have to see, just put it in real time.
For certain things, it has to be real time. I don't know. There's no perfect answer for this, but I'm just saying that we're going to get to a point where we're going to end up losing a lot of facets of the games that players enjoyed and the fans enjoyed for video assistant referee.
Let's move away from referee talk, Steve. So go up 2-0. Tonali, a little bit of scare coming out on the stretcher. Is fine. Diaz is fine as well. Do you feel like in the second half we took our foot off the pedal? Maybe it was just me nitpicking, but was it just Torino having a horrible first half that on the second half?
Torino is a terrible team.
Did they even shoot on goal in the first half?
I don't know, but Torino is a terrible team. Someone needs to get Belotti out of that team, and let's move on, because I don't know if it's Gianpaolo. I don't know if it's the team, but usually Torino puts up a good fight. In past campaigns, they've been a ball buster team, always giving everybody a good challenge. Maybe losing a lot of those games or tying those games, but at least putting up a good challenge. I think it has to do also with like terrible purchases that they've made. Like there's no room for Simone Zaza in Serie A anymore. I'm sorry. Yeah. Belotti by himself, no service. He tried to make something on his own, but
imagine he would have sold him, Steve, when he was worth that 80-90 million, taking that 80-90 million, reinvesting in youth it's just. If Milan wanted Belotti, Steve, how much you think we would pay him right now, as we speak?
I don't know. Again, everybody says, how much would you pay for him? It depends how many. They're not stupid. They're going to create a bidding war for him, right? He's their prized possession. They're not going to get rid of him for anything less than 50. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, about 45, 50. But in the end, right, we won the game. 3 points is 3 points. So yeah, if you want to believe we bought the refs and VARs on our side, okay, sure, go believe.
There's nothing for that. It's every week is the same thing. It's every week is Belotti's gonna score 2 goals on Milan. Okay, guys, let's go. What's the next narrative? Now we're going to Cagliari, and Cagliari is very difficult to play with, to play against when they play at home. Okay, another excuse, another reason to knock us off. That's fine, but the headlines need to change, guys. The headlines need to change. And especially a team that went on such a run, that headline could have been used not to celebrate there, but, even the headline for Juve. After a 20,
I'm gonna pull up the scores because I'm gonna let you talk about the Juve game. What did they call it, Steve? La Juve fa paura.
La Juve fa paura. My God.
What did they make? Were they scary, Juventus?
Look, this is, and I'm going to say it again. This is by far the worst Juventus that I have seen in the last 10 years.
Steve, I figured it out. You know what happened? The guy from Gazzetta just looked at the final result and he saw 3-1.
But that's what sometimes I question myself with that, right? Do they actually watch the game? Because have you forgotten that, and I'm not saying this because I hate Juve. You have to look at what the team did at 10 men and give them some respect because they did fight at 10 men. I bet you if that was Milan Sassuolo, the headline would have been something like, courageous Sassuolo loses out to Milan. That's a cool headline because they were courageous. They came back. They tied up the game 1-1. And then they continued to bring it. And Juve looked tired and Juve looked slow. And yesterday was my confirmation that Pirlo has no balls as a coach, and he has a lot of work to do if he wants to stay a Serie A coach. Because yesterday, yes, he did score at the end, but at 2-1 up against a Sassuolo that's bugging you and pestering you and showing their speed, there was no place on the field for CR7.
And you see, he wasn't going to pass that ball there in the 98th minute. You know that he wanted to score because he had a little bit of a drought. I know they lost Dybala, big faking injury at one point. No yellow card for that, But hey, Leao gets a yellow card for skipping over a tackle for simulation. But then there was Lord Teflon Bonucci, where holding back the last man, and hey, there's no red card for that one there. So it was a lot of these. Once again, we get back. I don't want to stop talking about refereeing because I'm fucking fed up. Let's just talk about these headlines. How it was horrible. Yeah, okay. Juventus won. Sassuolo, I was impressed. I did watch them. Steve, I watched most of the games this week. I was trying to keep up on the replug the Cody box there. So I was trying to watch everything, all the games going on. So look, Juventus, Sassuolo, it is what it is, right? Definitely Bonucci. To you, I don't know if he did merit the red card. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was something that should have been looked at.
Steve, you know who else deserves a red card?
Who's this?
Presidente. Presidente deserves a red card for still using a big shaver to shave the family jewels. I don't understand. We're trying to show him these beautiful things, Steve. You know, the Manscaped, the Lawnmower 3.0, you know. We're trying to tell him, Presidente, it's good for you. You know, it's me. I use it on my chest hair, all 7 of them, all my 7 chest hairs. It's fantastic. You know, you have the ball preserver, as you can see over here. You have the ball reviver. You know, very nice. It smells very good. But Presidente, like you said, he ordered it from Wish. He got the Snowblower 2.3 and has 2.3. So, guys, yes, thank you to everybody that used the MWP code for Manscaped. If you guys take a look, the whole kit that comes with a travel bag, it comes with a pair di mutante, a T-shirt, the lotions, the Lawnmower 3.0. Fantastic to even use in the shower because, you know, it not only has a little light, Steve, those ceramic blades. And please, let me make sure that everybody sees once again, Steve. Slow and steady wins the race. You see? Do not do like me, where it says the big X. Do the other way around. So thank you for them to giving the opportunity to giving our listeners a discount code, 20% off and free shipping. Manscaped.com. Use the code MWP. Thank you very much. I like that. Well, yeah, he does deserve a red card. Steve, taking it over to Sunday morning. Did you wake up for this game?
Yeah, I was up. I needed to watch it because I had Cola Giacomo and Gattuso playing against each other. So I wanted to see who I can make fun of more.
No, and I don't understand, Steve Inter. I don't understand. It's like they're on this Hakimi's goal. They're on this, and then all of a sudden it's like okay, we're good. You know, I don't know. I can't get this Inter team. And then Roma out of nowhere, you know, 2-2. And in the end, you know what? It was obviously if Roma would have won, maybe it would have been better for us. But, you know, it's good from over there. What did you think about that game?
So, look, you know, I don't know what's wrong with Inter, to be very honest, Joe. And, you know, we talked about it before, you know, Milan losing to Juve, the best team. Juve is the champion, and I get it. You're the best team until someone knocks you off that championship pedestal. But Inter, with one competition, you know, now they're gonna go into Coppa Italia, and they're gonna be able to concentrate a lot on the actual Scudetto. Like, this is the year for Inter, and I find that, you know, there's a lot of negativity around Inter. There's always a problem. There's always something going on with Conte. There's always something going on. They take back Nainggolan, and then they send them back to Cagliari. I think that Conte is starting to rust. It's starting to rust in there.
I can't wait for the game against Juve, Steve. I can't wait to.
And that's going to be a big test, you understand? Like, but Inter has to go in there. Look, right now for Inter against Juve, there is no reason. And I saw some of the comments, and that's Jamie brings up a good point. You know, Handanovic is either showing his age or just very unlucky, because I think he's still an able keeper.
Yep.
But, you know, Inter boasts about this great defense, this great 3-man backfield. You know, Bastone, the next coming of Bergomi, De Vrij, and Skriniar. Guys, you know, if we look back, Skriniar was out the door.
Seriously,
Conte didn't want him. You understand? You were playing Kolarov, you know, and he made such a dumb change, Conte, to bring on Kolarov for absolutely no reason. I'd rather, as an Interista, oh my God, I can't believe I said that.
Yeah.
First I have to go take a shower, but I'd rather have a dead, tired, like his tongue is hitting the floor, Hakimi, than a fresh Kolarov at this point in his career. He brings nothing. And as soon as Hakimi came off, you saw that Roma was getting some momentum. They were gaining a bit of ground at down a goal.
Yeah. No, it's just I just can't wait. Yeah, you know, Larry's saying Inter should beat Juve. They should. But just for the pure entertainment of maybe Conte's comments after the game, I want to see maybe a tie or somehow Juventus pulling off a 95th minute winner. But that's on Saturday, I believe, no, or Sunday. Anyways, I know it's a 2:45 game. So
It's 2:45 game that I will really watch.
definitely, yeah.
Inter, what message do you get? A full squad Inter. Let's make this clear for all Interistas hearing this. You're gonna suit up a full squad Inter against this Juve that you saw this weekend against Sassuolo, and you're going to tell me, and he knows he's listening. He's gonna listen to this podcast that you can't beat Juve. That is a loser mentality. You're never gonna win the Scudetto like that. I don't care how deep Juve is. They're poorly organized, and Inter should easily win against Juve. Will they win? I'm not saying that.
Nima, our friend Nima is saying the garden snake, Francis's friend, because they're both garden snakes. He's saying no, but maybe he's playing the reverse psychology from over there. But let's look at the other results, Steve. Atalanta. I don't understand this team scoring over 3-4 goals every single game. So nothing.
But that's the difference, man. We talked about that last week, right?
Yeah.
The game against Torino, we kept it at 2-0, and it was our fault. We missed a lot of chances.
Yes, we did.
So I'm team Kessie, team Frank. I can't understand how he cannot bury that ball when he gets into those dangerous, like high quality scoring chances. This is not a shot from outside the box. He's getting things delivered to him on a silver platter, and he keeps on hitting the goaler. And this is the only thing, and I was waiting for this portion of the show to talk about that. Atalanta will bury a team. It's over at 4-1. That team has nothing more to give. It's going to take a miracle to get back. The Torino game, it's because Torino is just that bad.
Yeah.
And because Torino is just that bad, it's very hard for them to come back into a game 2-0. But if it's a better team, we need to start burying those chances. I'm not saying every game is going to be 4-0 or 5-0 or 5-1 or 4-1. But, guys, we could all say as Milanisti, if we have to pick up a negative piece to the Torino game, is that we didn't kill that game in the first half.
That's why I felt
at the beginning of the second half.
I felt that we took maybe a notch down, but in the end, it worked. Maybe it was Pioli to say, we have all these games coming up and all these players coming back. Maybe Tonali and Diaz, trying to relax. But no, you're right. The Atalanta just kills the games every single time. You're looking at Lazio won a game, Steve. Lazio won a game, and how come they don't put Immobile 2 on the newspapers that they always win with penalties or stuff like that. It's just funny that from there. But no, Lazio, nothing surprising. Anything you want to say about this game, Steve?
No, I thought that Parma made a couple of mistakes there, and Liverani gone and Parma rehiring the coach that they should have never fired.
Gotta look good, yeah.
They made some mistakes, and Lazio took advantage of it there. But Rome derby coming up this weekend, so that's another toughie for Rome. It's a very tough spot in the schedule for these teams. Milan needs to have that groundhog mentality, that chipmunk mentality. Let's start collecting points off these guys. I'm not saying it's a big game against Cagliari. It's a tricky game. I just hope they don't scoreboard watch. And I hope they just take care of their business. And then whatever happens in the other games happens.
They haven't won in the last 10 games, Cagliari. I don't give a shit. You go out and go close that game.
Close the game right away.
Fiorentina won a game, Steve. Big 1-0 win against Cagliari.
Fiorentina is so boring to watch.
I know.
My God, they put you to sleep. If you have trouble sleeping, watch Fiorentina.
Napoli with our ex-friend Bakayoko scoring in the late game to give Napoli the 2-1 win over Udinese. People are talking about maybe Napoli being in the Scudetto race. I don't know if it was Marcotti saying that on ESPN, but Napoli, I know they keep putting up these 3 points, Steve, but are they impressing you or they're just getting the job done?
No, but I think they're missing a huge piece there. I think Oshiman needs to come back for them. Injured on international duty, stupidity that they were even playing in international duty.
And was partying.
Then coronavirus. And today, before the show, I was just looking at my phone, and I think he tested positive again for coronavirus.
No, that's right. And then Sampdoria today, Steve. Sampdoria, I don't understand. Sometimes they come up with surprises like beating Inter, and then they go lose to Spezia today. So
Ninzola scored again.
who?
Ninzola.
And so that takes it over for the Serie A guys. David Gorash is saying, Vinny, stop saying surprise of the match. It's 2 games in a row. You say Tonali, and he got a red last game, and then he got injured. Hey, David, shut the fuck up. How's that? The first 2 times I said Leao was going to be a surprise, and he scored. And Tonali is not fucking injured. He's fine. All right? Shut the fuck up, you stupid Mark. All right. So let's go. And if you want to complain even more, join the Patreon at $3 US a month, or I believe they put it in Canadian money. Love you, buddy. Go watch Raw. Steve, let's take it over to the question, unless you wanted to say something else before.
One last thing for everybody, who shat on me when I made my comments about Tonali. Guys, I've been watching this game for a long time.
Who shat on you, Steve?
And it doesn't matter, but I'm just saying, ridiculously long time. Players like this guy, this boy, he's a boy. We forget they need time. Tonali this year, just imagine that he wasn't even. Whatever we're getting from him is bonus. Needs to be developed. Needs to gain confidence. Needs to be removed. Malocchio needs to go see Pope Francis. He needs to get something. Needs to happen for this guy. I don't know if it's a goal. I don't know if it's a winning performance, but nothing is working his way.
He seemed, but before the injury, Steve, I have to say he did not seem out of place. You felt he was out of place?
Terrible.
Had a shot on target. I didn't feel like it was out of place.
Guys, we're looking at shots on target for a $25 million player.
No, I'm saying what I'm saying.
But Vinny, you have to, Vinny. This is a $25 million player.
What I'm trying to tell you is that from the games before, where he got the red card, right? I felt I couldn't see that he was off from the beginning. What I'm trying to tell you is that this game here, I did not feel he was off like the other ones. Now, I'm sorry if I'm glorifying a shot on goal, but look, Tonali, what would be your suggestion, Steve? He's gonna play tomorrow. Give him some time, starting time. Don't give him. Benacer is coming back against Cagliari.
You're not gonna see him. You're not gonna see him against Cagliari. I think someone needs to talk to him. I think someone needs to come down from that upper section, sit down with the kid, and have a conversation and say, look, there's a lot of pressure, but you need to get back to the things that you do well. He's missing 4-foot passes.
I think, is it possible, Steve, that the Benacer injury exposed Tonali as we speak right now is not starting caliber as we speak? Maybe if Benacer would have been hurt and he would just do those cameo appearances and starting on Coppa Italia would have had less pressure. I don't know, but I'm not giving up on this kid. That's for sure. I think it would be stupid to give up.
I'm not giving up too.
I'm
just saying, when we purchase players like this, you have to take into account that he's coming from somewhere where it's not the same atmosphere. Brescia and Milan is not the same atmosphere. The Milan jersey weighs a lot.
And at Brescia, whether you win games or your goal was to what?
You have to learn to stay up. You have to learn to stay in Serie A.
So, the expectation, but I'm definitely not giving up. But yeah, it kind of it would have really sucked if the beginning some people were saying oh my God, he's going to be out for 2 to 3 months. He might need I was trying to relook at that thing. I couldn't see where he would have taken that big of injury. But in the end, I'm happy. And maybe Benacer coming back, give Tonali that start against in Coppa Italia tomorrow. Is it tomorrow or Wednesday? Tomorrow, I believe. Yeah, Steve, how about you? Before we get into questions, Coppa Italia. Let's go shoot. I don't want to be like, but Coppa Italia is not important. Doesn't matter if we lose. No, fuck that. I want to win. Or you
you have to try, but you have to be careful. We cannot lose more players to injury.
So who would you start tomorrow? Really a turnover?
I would turn over a lot. Yeah, because I don't think Torino can beat us.
I would, yeah. I put the Haug Hogan, put Kalulu, put Maldini, put have that, because would you even risk Ibra tomorrow?
I would give him some minutes. I liked what Pioli did. I was going back and forth on the Milan Club Montreal chat there. I like that he inserted Hakan to get a couple of minutes and Ibra to get a couple of minutes. It's just these players need to touch the ball. They need to feel the ball. Like with Hakan, unfortunately, he's been playing very well, man. And we were not able to put the game to bed. And we got that scare with the almost penalty. Tonali had to come out. So I don't mind him putting in Hakan there. Against Torino, it all happens with it all depends on how the game goes. I don't know about risking for Coppa Italia. To be very honest, you guys, fourth spot is so important for us this year that there's not a lot of things that I would do to gamble with that.
I like Oli Oxenfree saying, he's saying that Tonali is acting from a three-man midfield into a double pivot. Kessie was born for the double pivot, which is why he struggled in the three-man defense.
I know, guys.
No. He's basically saying, let's take the time that we need to take the time. And
and I agree, but guys, come on. When you played at Brescia, it was 4-5-1.
Yeah,
that's what they were playing. They could show you on TV whatever they want, 4-3-3, whatever formation they want. You saw that they were there to defend, right? And it's a different. You're in that kind of parking the bus style midfield, and now you have to go. You have responsibility, and then in a double pivot, you have a lot of responsibility. You're two guys, man.
A fucking Team Frank, huh? He's so awesome. He's so fucking cool, calm, and collected. And I think that's the one guy that you can make him play every single game. The guy doesn't get fatti ferro. I think we saw him, once, maybe miss some games. So we'll see what happens tomorrow in Coppa Italia. Steve, I know Ian sent us a voicemail. He did mention the newspapers, and I said we were going to mention it. We were going to answer it before. So here's his voice clip.
Happy New Year, Steve and Vinny and Presidente, and to all the listeners.
Oh, sorry.
Guys, another great weekend for Milan. It started off great on Saturday with Milan getting the win over Torino. It wasn't a spectacular game by any means, but Milan were actually really solid. So I was happy to see them keep the clean sheet, and they didn't really give up many chances to Torino. But guys, in that Milan game, we saw Leao have another really good game as striker, score a goal. With his emergence as, I guess, a backup to Ibra when Ibra's not in, do you think a midfielder, another central midfielder, is a bigger priority in the Mercato than a Vice Ibra? Also, Steve, maybe this is your indigestion of the week.
Well, he talks about the newspapers there, but I like what he's saying. Seeing he's growing game by game, and center forward, we had said the Vice Ibra, but do you think that he can do that role, or does he always prefer the left? Because I saw him talk. They interviewed him, and dear Leao, can you smile once in a while? He was just there in front of the camera, just answering like this, and just say "Tutto bene per la squadra." And they were asking him direct questions. He always answer "La squadra, la squadra, la squadra." So that I like to hear. But in the end, Steve, why not? Can we not just leave him? Maybe he would be the Vice Ibra, and then go what? Then again, on the wing, what are we gonna do? You have Rebic. You would have what? You have your wingers, Castillejo. You have the.
Yeah, I'm not convinced, guys. I'm not convinced that he's a true number 9.
So you would still look for a Vice Ibra in the Mercato?
You need someone to score goals consistently.
I know David was asking what's more important, getting reinforcements or signing Çalhanoğlu and Gigio. I think both of them because we've been through sorry?
They need to that's stuff that they need to talk off the field. For the January transfer, they need someone. We saw that in the middle of the pitch, there's a lot of things that happen. Injuries happen, card accumulation happens. These guys are going crazy. We need someone to step in, right? I don't know what's going to happen with Rebic. Now he has COVID, and is he going to be back healthy for Cagliari? I don't know. Same thing with what the hell's his name? Krunic.
Yeah.
another COVID case.
And we have to be honest with each other, Steven. Is like, I wish that this high lasts forever, but we need to be realistic in that, if we don't go get these reinforcements, nothing says that if we would have to go through another sequence of all these injuries, nothing says we will be continuing to get all these results. I hope so, but in the end, sometimes it catches up to you. To look at what we were able to produce in goals and game-wise with this half a team, especially taking the game against Juve with signing the score, So, reinforcements for me. Gigio definitely, the renewal is very important. Çalhanoğlu, we shall see. I know we touched bases on the questions on Twitter there, but in the end, for you, Leao, keep him as a winger. We'll get ourselves another.
I just don't think he's a number 9.
Gillis asking us from Patreon. Erzvin first. I'd like to know Steve's opinion on what Il Serpente had to say about worrying if, God forbid, we don't make the top 4, potentially these players, Alateo, wanting to leave. You think any of these players, Steve, would leave if we don't make the top 4?
I think we wouldn't be able to afford them. I don't think they would want to leave. I think we would just not be able to keep them. We would need to make money back to get your books in order, right? So
yeah, I think
it's very important, guys, for us this year. All jokes aside, we're doing very well. We're having a great campaign. The top 4 is a must, man. We need to get into that top 4. We need that Champions League money to write the books. People are gonna think, oh, we're gonna get this Champions League money, and we're going to start buying these 5-star caliber talents, and we're going to change Serie A. Guys, Milan has a tough accounting issue that needs to be resolved before all this, and it's continuity. It's making Champions League year after year, passing the round robin stage, unlike our cousins, and getting into that money that's split between the clubs. That's where we start to fix some of these issues.
Definitely agree with you on that one. It'll probably be monetary. I love Ali Oxenfree. Just brought me back, Steve. Comparing saying Calabria can be used a la Philip Lam all the time. Remember Philip Lam? Did he play every single position that there was other than striker? Remember at Bayern Munich? I just love that little reference there. Gillis, disclaimer: he's not a Hakan fan. With that out of the way, I was secretly hoping for a little run of Diaz playing in the number 10 slot behind the striker with Hakan injured. While Torino is garbage, it was nice to see him get at that chance and make good on it. With Hakan's rumored asking price of 5 to 6 million, I would much rather them make a play for Diaz. Am I wrong? For me, I don't think we've seen enough of Diaz, Steve. I don't think we've seen enough consistency. First of all, he's on a dry loan, right? There's no option to buy last time I checked. But I do not think... I think I would still make a play for Çalhanoğlu. Not at 5-6 million, but your thoughts maybe on Diaz? Did you like his performance against
I didn't mind him against Torino. I found he was dynamic there, but I think he too, we have to remember he's very young, and there's going to be some growing pains, and he needs to get with the league, right? So it's a brand new league for him. He's been bounced around the Manchester City, Real Madrid, on loan to Serie A. So he needs to get with the league, and I think he has a bright future. It's just that, do we have that time to waste? Right now we have Hakan Çalhanoğlu, which I too am not the biggest fan of Hakan. I think there's a lot of dead to his game, but I have to tip my hat to him that over these past couple of 10 games he's been playing pretty well. A little bit. We had a little bit of dip when this whole contract stuff started. But then after he got out of it again, and
showing a bit of that leadership with
leadership, that I'm very surprised. I was not expecting that from him. I thought he was going to crumble completely.
Paulie saying on Patreon, good evening, guys. How vital is recoupment during the current transfer window going to be on Milan's Scudetto race? Ibra said we should have the courage to dream, and we saw the impact he and Kier had on the team last term. If we had a central defender and either a striker or central midfielder or right attacking midfielder, it might boost us even further. Do we add 1 or 2 players? Do we go for young prospects or experienced players? What do you guys think? Forza Milan. We've had this question in the past because it's I don't know. It's hard to say. Do you want to? I think right now, I don't think getting a young prospect would fit into let's reinforce this team to bring us and to secure those top 4 spots. You can throw, we could be wrong, Steve, but I don't think we could just throw. Now, a young talent would be like a young talent that's proven, maybe somebody around the world, but would you go more for an experience? I'm not talking about a 35-year-old, maybe somebody in their, early 30s. What would you think?
I think they're pointing at the right people. I guess they want to go with this formula where they're young and they can develop and they can use for future sale to make money on. It's guys. We've said it again. I've said it before, guys. This is a business now. It's almost like a revolving door. You can't fall in love with these players because one year they're here, the next year they're gone. So you have to be very careful. Like an investment like Theo Hernandez is not going to come all the time, but when it comes, you count your lucky stars and you ride the wave. There was a question up there about Jans Petter Hogan. Guys, I've said it multiple times. Jans Petter Hogan has to understand that he's not playing against Celtic or he's not playing against Sparta Prague.
And we can see that starting, he did fantastic for us when he was like kind of that super sub. And I'm not saying he's not capable of doing starter, obviously, right? But I don't know if it's the pressure. I don't know if it's giving the that opportunity. But I still like what I see, the possibility of him when he came off the bench.
Yeah.
But
now we're getting to the main problem that we're starting to have. We have a lot of people that we like to bring off the bench.
Yeah,
we don't need that. We need players that could step in and play a full game.
Do you see him capable? Yeah, he's capable. He's got the quality to do it, but maybe so far it's like Castillejo, right? Castillejo, he gets those starts because we had no choice. Hauge is getting the starts because we have no choice. So let's see. In the management we trust, right? We'll see where we go from over there. But I like these players that we're getting. Compared to the players we've been getting in the last couple of years, so we'll take them on, right? To Twitter, Steve, we go. Gigi La Patate. Zlatan said in early 2020 that if he came earlier, the team would be fighting for the Scudetto. It seemed bold when he first said it 1 year later. What do you guys make of it? In early 2020, I don't know if battling for Scudetto, I don't think so. Battling for 4th spots, yeah.
Closer to 4th spot, yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Not battling for Scudetto.
No, because you needed that time to gel and all these new players that came in after the Mercato. So definitely, I think we would have a better chance of making Champions League.
Maybe we were a year too late there, but again, the project last year didn't start the way we wanted it to start, right? The Gianpaolo experiment didn't work, and Pioli comes in after, so
oh my God! Facebook Frank Jose Sosa. He made our top 10 bidones of the last decade. And Gigi asks us again, Spezia got a winning penalty today. Will it make the headlines tomorrow?
Absolutely not.
Our friend Rossoari TV at Rossoari saying, with all this justified Maresca hate for the 6 cards, does he also deserve praise for putting his ego aside carefully, diligently analyzing the VAR calls to make the correction? We have seen countless refs barely look at the screen, resulting in horrendous decisions. I'm not sure if it was him putting. I like what you wrote here, Ari. But is it him putting his ego aside? Because
or it's the VAR telling him to come and look.
I think it would be more the VAR to say, because if you look at all the replays, Steve, you saw that Maresca couldn't have seen because there was all kinds of players in front of him, right? But yeah, to swallow his ego, because in the end, if the VAR tells him go take a look and he still comes out and says penalty, then he's going to look like an idiot. So I think the decision was the better one, because if not, he would have been eaten alive, right? Yeah, maybe even cost him his job. These people.
That's why it's there. That's why it's there. And when it's used properly, it's great. When it's used inconsistently, I'm not going to say wrongly, when it's used inconsistently, it always causes drama.
Well, but no, definitely the Spets is not making the front pages to Gigi La Patate. But thank you to Rosso Ari. And if you guys want to take a look, he's very enthusiastic. He's got a great YouTube channel.
Sir.
He's got
Keep on putting that content out there.
Yeah, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and he's extremely enthusiastic, dude. Keep it up. We love watching you. Fabio 3785. We don't. We want champions. Would you midweek?
Your internet.
My internet?
Yeah.
Am I better?
No, you're frozen.
I'm frozen. Fantastic. Am I better now?
Yes.
Okay. Let me go back to Fabio saying, would you give Zlatan any time midweek versus Torino? I know he will be starting versus Cagliari due to Leao suspension. He needs to handle with care. We did speak about it a bit, maybe 45 minutes, as we mentioned it before.
A lot of the guys are saying, and just us not looking at the schedule, it seems like the Cagliari game is on the Monday.
It's on the Monday. So that's because we're playing. So that's 5 days off. No, it is on Monday, Steve. It is on Monday. So we have good 5 days off. So we'll see. But again, it's the injury scare, guys, right? I would probably give him maybe first half, Steve? 60 minutes?
I don't know. We'll need to see what happens in the game. That's for sure. But I think they're going to go to win it. I think they want to win it.
And then he replies back, the ending possibly for 25, and he's like, our first signing on the market seems to be a center midfielder. Are you worried about the right wing as I am? Are you worried about the right wing position, Steve?
Yes, I'm worried about right wing and right back.
Exactly.
A substitute for Calabria, because against Torino, guys, I'm gonna agree with the guys in the chat there. I did not like Dalot's performance.
I like. Did you see this one? Stupid Inter net. I like it. Fuji's and Funyuns. What else do we have on Twitter? So Presidente, obviously, did you ever pay attention, Steve, to his profile picture? He's looking sideways. He's got the sunglasses.
I don't even think that's him.
It's not him?
I don't think it's him.
Of course it's him.
No, I don't think so.
I gotta take a look. Hold on. You know what? I'm clicking on it. No, it's Bonaventura. Okay, now I clicked on it. No, it's not. It's not. Never mind, guys. Never mind. Going back to Twitter. I gotta go back. Press back. So you asked to know about, that he was appalled by La Gazzetta. And Hauge's headband. I like that one. After seeing Juve struggle to get 3 points from 10-man Sassuolo, does it make you frustrated that we didn't have the players available to pull off a win with Meek? In my opinion, if we had at least Krunic and Rebic, we would have continued our intensity in the second half. I don't think we lost our intensity. Great name, by the way. But you think, Steve, do you think Krunic and Rebic would have been that key to make us win?
I don't think it would have been enough. But to answer his first question, I was super pissed that we didn't have our full team. I think full team versus full team, I think we give Juve a run for their money. And it's not Juve fa paura anymore. I think the headline, which they would have never wrote, was going to be Milan fa paura. I really believe that with Milan at full squad against that Juve that I saw against Milan, and then I saw again against Sassuolo, and that saw again against Fiorentina, guys, there's a problem at Juve. I know the Juventini don't want to admit it, and it's very hard to get through to these guys. And I think some of us, and I'm generalizing here, but some of us are in awe of this Juve and what they've did in the past and so on and so forth. It's not the same. They had Allegri behind the bench. Allegri, you say it all the time. He's a fine tweaker. He would tweak things.
Yeah.
We're not seeing this with this Juve. We're just seeing, let's throw shit at the wall and let's see what sticks. Everybody's saying, I saw tweets on Pirlo is looking more and more adapt tactically. Oh, yeah?
I was listening to the commentators. McKennie un giocatore importantissimo. And I don't know, Steve. I don't follow football as much as you, but McKennie è importantissimo at la Juve?
Look, he brings a different dynamic that they don't have there. He's a ball-winning athlete. He runs. Is he important for them right now? Okay, I guess so. If you want to go digging with stuff,
you made it sound like
you made an important signing. You gave up on Pjanic, or Pjanic gave up on you, however you want to call it, and you got back Arthur, and you're having trouble finding him in space. You sub on Ramsey yesterday, and you sub him off. Like, how's that player gonna take that?
But I know that they subbed him on because of the injury, and then
I will sub them off. Because you know why?
Mm.
Pirlo se cagato sotto because he didn't want to take out CR7. You brought in Morata. You're winning 2-1. You want to protect the lead. Okay, Morata is going to be your striker. What's the reason to have CR7 there? And this is what's disgusting.
This is after Dybala got hurt, Steve. After Dybala got hurt.
This is
Imagine.
near the end. Imagine
Yeah.
Dybala got hurt, and this is near the end. The manager doesn't manage anymore, guys. I'm not saying someone. Unfortunately, at Pirlo's character, his whatever he accomplished on the field doesn't translate with him as at the manager level. Because, guys, it's a very simple substitution. It's not that Ronaldo was on a hat trick and they were dominating the game and you could pull him out. Guys, you were up 2-1 and he was giving you nothing. He was just getting frustrated. Like nothing was going his way. You saw, right? At one point he could have slide tackle and score, but he decided to get the ball. He missed a point blank.
This is at the point, dude. You're fantastic. This is the time to you know what? I'm off. Put somebody.
Exactly. And and then he scores a goal at the end, and then everybody magically forgets that he did nothing for 89 minutes. But that's unfortunately the downfall of Juve for this year, is that I think CR7 is bigger than Juve, and that's a huge problem.
But in the end, Steve, La Juve fa paura. Okay, they scare everybody. La Juve. We shall see. We shall see against Inter this weekend. Steve, we spoke about our indigestions being La Gazzetta. I spoke about Giampaolo. He's just with that post-game commentary. About anything else that got to you this week, or you just want to go? How about something that made you feel good?
I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go back to the Juve game, and I'm gonna say I was, and I tweeted it out. I'm really, really proud of that Milan team. Those guys who suited up at the beginning of that game, because it was not gonna be an easy game. They had this pressure of keeping this winning streak or undefeated streak alive, and unfortunately, they were not able to do so. But that's the feel-good moment. Like, I didn't think in my wildest dreams that I would see a 27-game unbeaten streak by Milan. Totally surprised me. Deserved or undeserved, whatever anybody thinks, I don't care. It happened, and I think that should have been celebrated by Serie A and by the newspapers and the media, and unfortunately, it was not.
And I will say, I love another brioche moment for me with Pioli. How people, Giampaolo, what did he say? Nessuno like us, 5 games in the next 13 days. What does Pioli answer to? A game every 3 days? The more we play, the more we grow. Bring them on. I love that, right? No, yeah, but now it's la fatigue. I'm gonna make sure that everybody's rotating. I love this guy. I don't know where he came from. It's just fitting. Padre Pioli. Steve and I are waiting to wear our burgundy turtlenecks. Once we're able to join back together, we're keeping that for a special edition. We shall have sports jackets, and because the turtleneck game, Steve, at Milan is pretty high up there, right? So burgundy turtlenecks to come soon as because now we're not allowed to go out. Steve, here in Quebec after 8:00. Imagine there was no COVID and all this curfew, you wouldn't have been able to come. So everything works out for the better. Love it that we almost hit 90 live viewers at the end of our podcast. But Steve, anything in closing to say to our millions of fans listening and watching on YouTube?
1 week at a time, manage your expectations, 3 points at a time, and we can only control what we can control. The 90+ minutes on our pitch when we play. Everything else is just gravy.
And to all Juventinis, Interistas, Romanistas, Lazialistas, I know it fucking burns to see us in first place and trying to find a reason. Oh my God, the referees. And oh my God, this. I know it fucking burns. And you know what? We're loving every fucking second of it. So you could all stick it up your asses. Siamo capolista and go fuck yourselves. Because there is no excuse. La Grinta is there. Thank you. Thank you very much. Guys, Have yourselves a pleasant evening. Thank you very much. Have yourselves a great night, and we'll see Coppa Italia tomorrow and then on next Monday. So, hey, Steve, perfect. Monday game, Monday podcast.
Fantastic.
Ovunque e sempre.
Forza Milan!
Ciao, guys.